In this video, I'm going to talk about a supposed contradiction in Scripture that's brought up in this book, All That's Wrong with the Bible, Contradictions, Absurdities, and More. In it, the first contradiction he brings up is, who was Selah's father? And he mentions this passage in Genesis 11:12, which says, when Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. And then he says this contradicts what's found in Luke 3:35 and 36. It says, this is part of the genealogy of Jesus, chapter 3 of Luke. And it says, the son of Serug, the son of Reu, the son of Peleg, the son of Eber, the son of Shelah, the son of Canaan, the son of Arphaxad. Okay, so what he's saying is that these genealogies are not the same, that this is saying that Arphaxad was the father of Canaan, who was the father of Shelah, and in Genesis 11, that it says that Arphaxad was the father of Shelah. Okay, so I looked into this a little bit, and what I found is that if you look in the interlinear, you'll see that it says Arphaxad lived 35 years, and he beget Shelah. And that if you look at this beget word, that it's the word yalad, I guess it is, which you can see here is translated in a wide variety of ways. And my understanding is that it's ordinarily used to talk about a father begetting a child, but that it doesn't exclude the idea of a father having a grandchild. And he does talk about this in here. The writer of this book does talk about the idea that father can just mean ancestor. And it doesn't actually talk about it in quite the way in the way it was described in Genesis 11. It doesn't say father. It says he begets. But the point is that he's making, the writer of this book, he's saying that there's a contradiction in the Scripture because Arphaxad is apparently the father of Shelah according to Genesis, but that he's the grandfather of Shelah according to Luke. And I was finding, and doing a little bit of research about this, that the idea of skipping people in genealogies in the Old Testament is not that weird. And I found this article about another occasion where this happens, and I'll include a link to this passage. But there's another place here where some of the generations were skipped in a genealogy. And the idea was that these people who were skipped or left out of the genealogy were wicked in some way. And I don't know enough about Arphaxad and Shelah and Canaan to have anything specific to say about them. But one thing that's a little bit strange is that it says when Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. So to have somebody be 35 years old and having a grandson is a little bit unusual. So it might be that something sinful happened in this sequence with Canaan. And maybe Canaan was left out of this genealogy in Genesis because it was an embarrassing situation. And so we're not told why, that I'm aware of anywhere, but that's a possible explanation for why that it was accounted for in these different ways in these different genealogies. And so I don't think this qualifies as a contradiction. It is strange, but if the point is to say that the Bible is unreliable because of these kind of differences, then I think that is to read it uncharitably, and that we should not, on the basis of something quite like this, decide that we should just throw out the Bible and not have faith in it because of that reason. So this is probably going to be a similar kind of thing for each contradiction, if I'm anticipating correctly, several of them so far. But it's, in general, I think that at least in this case, that we can say it's not a absolute contradiction, but rather it's a peculiar feature of Scripture that you have generations being skipped because of something embarrassing or wicked that was done, and that it's not done exactly the same way in every place. And so if they were consistently applying that, then I guess Luke would have skipped Canaan too. But for whatever reason, he decided to include him. So anyway, I guess that's all I had to say about that. I'll see about doing another one, and hopefully it will be useful to you. If you find this kind of thing useful, then like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when further videos are released. Thanks for listening. May God bless you.